Arirang Special.
The winds of smart technology, which began in the digital sector, are blowing strong around the world. Smart tech is at the center of change, not only in industries and technology, but in politics, economy, and culture as well. It has changed relationships between people and has brought change to the lifestyles of humankind. The pace of our lives have become faster and efficiency maximized. Smart technology pursues convenience and enjoyment and is now changing the way humankind conducts farming. Farming methods which depended on experience is now being monitored by the interfaces of smart devices using high-tech equipment and networks. Smart technology has been integrated into the overall agricultural process, including production, distribution, consumption, and sales. It is reviving agriculture, a necessity for the survival of humankind. The long line of young people heading to the city to find jobs have turned back to the country due to smart technology. Young farmers have returned from the city armed with smart devices and are starting new lives in rural areas. Smart technology is now creating new jobs and developing the agricultural industry. Korea's smart technology, one of the best in the world, has met Korean agriculture, which has limitless potential, creating millionaire farmers and bringing young people back to the country where only elderly people lived. Let's take a look at these agricultural villages that use smart technology. Korea is an IT powerhouse, boasting one of the world's best info communications infrastructure. IT has converged with all industries, sharpening their competitive edge. The development of smart devices has brought change to our lifestyles. Children read books on tablet PCs, and grandparents video chat with their grandchildren on their computers. Korea, an IT powerhouse, has also built strong info communication systems in each field of society. Especially as demand for safe foods is on the rise, IT technology is being used in food safety. Also, in order to prevent damage to greenhouses and low-temperature warehouses in the event of torrential rains or natural disasters, technology to notify farmers of the weather situation via text messages is also widely used. These are measures to minimize damage to farms due to abnormal weather by using advanced communications technology. This technology, which is used in all regions in Korea, would not have been possible without IT and infrastructure. Advanced internet networks have encouraged farmers to learn the newest farming technology and build new sales networks. The local governments are conducting computer classes for farmers, and after learning how to use the internet, farmers can increase their profits by direct transactions through e-commerce.
호박고구마, 밤고구마, 황금고구마 쫙 키워드를 만들려고 하다가
텃밭에는 무궁무를 키웠을 때 우리 주변에서 식생활에서 많이 도움이 된다는 걸 또 집어넣고 이렇게 했어요.
잘하셨습니다. 박수 한번 쳐주세요. 정말 잘해보셨어요.
경매나 저기로 도매로 보내는 것보다는 직거래, 소비자하고 바로 하는 그런 건데 거기서 전자상거래 역할이 제일 크다고 봤습니다. 근데 전자상거래가 보통 우리가 생각하는 농민 생각하는 게 상당히 힘들게 생각하거든요. 그러니까 저도 어떤 은퇴 후에 이제 농사를 이제 귀농해가지고 이제 시작을 했는데 거기서 전자상거래로 어떤 저기를 해야 되지 않느냐, 장래 궁극적으로. 그래가지고 이제 나오게 됐습니다.
In 2011, the size of e-commerce in Korea amounted to 1,000 trillion Korean won. This is a tremendous amount constituting 80% of Korea's GDP. The market size is considerable, and the speed of growth amounts to 25% per year, achieving rapid growth. Following the internet, the market for mobile shopping is growing at an explosive rate. Mobile shopping grew to a market of 600 billion Korean won in 2012. Last November, according to a survey conducted by the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry on mobile shopping, 13.9% answered that they had bought products using their smartphones. 8 months later in July, the same survey was conducted, and the number had increased fourfold, with 53.4% answering that they had bought products using their smartphones. Following cell phones and the internet, smartphones have become common, and with it, Korea's technology is making new advances. IT is original technology which has made high-tech farming a reality and is needed to gain a competitive edge over countries across the world. Korea's smart farming is expanding based on IT. Smart farming has left the boundaries of experiments in research labs, becoming a reality in actual farming. A cattle farm in Muan, Jeollanam-do. This is where Kim Yong-hwan, a young farmer, came to live 3 years ago. Kim Yong-hwan used to be an editorial designer in Seoul. He returned to his hometown of Muan in 2010. He made a database of all the materials needed to run a stock breeding farm.
어떤 계기로 이렇게 태블릿 사용하게 하신 마음을 드시는 거예요?
저도 처음에는 이 태블릿 PC를 사용하지 않았는데 이게 어떤 농사를 하고 소를 사육하면서 체계화를 잡아야 되겠다라는 생각에 이거를 어떤 이 소에 대한 정보를 데이터베이스를 하고 이거를 기록하고 저장하는 게 중요하겠다라고 생각이 들었고, 그래서 지금 이 태블릿 PC와 지금 전에는 사실은 PC를 이용했었는데 많이 PC를 부팅하고 쓰기가 굉장히 번거롭더라고요. 하지만은 지금 태블릿 PC는 바로 꺼내서 바로 쓸 수 있어서 지금 태블릿 PC를 쓰고 있습니다.
The main job at this breeding farm is to breed strong calves. Increasing the fertilization rate of the cows is directly linked to profit. So, Kim Yong-hwan has made a database on the characteristics of each cow, their estrus cycles, and fertilization periods, managing all the information in real time with a tablet PC. As he walks between the cows, he holds a smartphone instead of farm tools.
어떤 걸 하고 계신 건가요?
한우 사육에 있어서 가장 중요한 것은 개체 관리거든요. 그 개체 관리를 그전에는 태블릿 PC가 없었을 때는 수기로 해서 썼지만은 지금은 우리가 쉽게 들고 다니는 핸드폰이나 이 태블릿 PC로 이 개체 관리를 일일이 하고 있습니다. 이 태블릿 PC로 개체 관리를 함으로써 예전에 수기로 해서 일일이 찾아보고 했던 거를 지금은 손쉽게 빨리 그 개체에 대한 정보를 얻을 수 있어서 지금 태블릿 PC를 사용하고 있습니다.
In general, the chances a cow will give birth to a calf in 1 year are about 40%. But in Kim Yong-hwan's farm, equipped with smart devices and data, the chances amount to 60%. A smart mind makes up for his lack of farming experience, and the young farmer has built up his own know-how in just 3 years. What is his ambition for the future?
지금 현재 있는 두수에서 어떤 규모화를 하는 것보다 당장 지금 시급한 거는 생산성을 높이고 생산비를 낮추는 게 지금 가장 시급하다고 생각합니다. 중장기적으로는 아마 제 소에 대한 브랜드를 갖고 유통까지 이렇게 하면서 소비자에게 저렴한 소고기를 공급하는 게 저의 어떤 중장기적인 목표라고 생각하고 있습니다.
그런 계획들을 이제 실현해 나가시는데 이렇게 지금 사용하고 계신 스마트 기기들이 도움이 될까요?
스마트 기기로 인해서 스마트 기기는 엄청난 정보를 우리가 쉽게 빨리 수집할 수 있다고 생각하거든요. 그래서 제가 모르는 것이나 아니면은 어떤 SNS를 통해서 아는 지인들에게 이렇게 뭘 어려운 일이 있을 때 물어보거나 뭐 그런 거를 잘 활용한다면은 앞으로 그런 쪽으로 굉장히 많이 도움이 될 거라고 생각합니다.
We can see a glimpse of the future of agriculture from Kim Young-hwan's hope to go beyond primary production to processing and distribution. The nature of smart devices, which is dissemination of information and exchange, is now evolving, allowing new farmers to learn know-how from experienced farmers online. Chung Hwa-ryo returned to the countryside 12 years ago. In 2006, he was awarded the title of New Knowledge Farmer of Korea, but even he faced numerous obstacles in the beginning. When living in Seoul, he worked in the printing business, but in 2000, he moved to Danyang, Chungcheongguk-do to farm fatsia shoots and raise bees. However, the shoots dried up and the beehives froze.
그러니까 벌은 1년 만에 다 얼어 죽였어요. 그러니까 여기 날씨에 대해서 전혀 이해가 없었던 거죠. 그러니까 여기가 지금 있는 데가 지금 해발 한 340m 정도 되는데 요 지금 앉아 있는 자리가요. 근데 겨울에 추울 때 영하 27도까지 내려가더라고요. 그러니까 서울에서만 살다가 전혀 상상을 못하던 그런 온도가 되니까는 이게 나름대로 보온 대책을 세운다고 했는데도 이게 그 정도로 날이 추울 거라는 생각을 못했던 거죠.
After his first failure, he realized the importance of experience and know-how, as well as weather forecasts for the changing seasons. Since 2008, he has been writing a farming journal on his personal website.
제일 기본적으로 생각했던 게 핸드폰을 항상 들고 다니니까는 그 휴대폰 갖고 다니면서 사진이나 부지런히 찍자 하면 그 말로 글로 많이 써놓는 것보다는 사진 한 장에 훨씬 더 많은 것들을 보여줄 수 있을 테니까는 사진을 부지런히 찍어서 그 사진을 갖고 영농일지를 만들어보자 이런 생각을 하게 됐죠.
8 years of experience that can't be bought with money is written in the journal, and he has been turning it into an ebook since last year. Now, anyone can read it on their smartphones. He considers this to be his way of donating talent. Information that I know but others don't. His farming journal shares information that can't be acquired or found anywhere else. It reduces the beginner farmer's chances of failure and is a treasure map pointing the way to success. No matter how good the intentions, if it had been impossible to share the information in an easy way, his farming methods wouldn't have seen the light of day. Chung Hwa-ryo knows the value of computers and smartphones, so he teaches his neighbors how to use the internet and smartphone whenever he has time. Lee Man-hoo moved to this village 4 years after Chung Hwa-ryo. Being the same age, they became friends as they bonded over the computer. He documents the farming journal he learned from Chung Hwa-ryo, and he has now begun to sell his products directly through his blog.
농사는 저도 전혀 경험이 없는 상태에서 귀농을 했거든요. 그래서 아무것도 모르다 보니까 주위 분들한테 물어봐도 말 자체가 잘 이해가 안 되는 거예요. 뭐라고 말씀하시는데 저랑은 전혀 다른 세계였기 때문에 그래서 처음서부터 하나하나 알아가는 과정에서 적어놓지 않으면 안 되겠다는 거는 피부로 많이 와닿거든요. 그래서 그런 부분을 수기로 정리하다 보니까 또 어떤 현장 사진이나 이런 것들이 더 중요하고 또 그게 더 기억에 남는 부분이 많아가지고 그리고 정아려 군이 옆에서 많이 지도를 또 받았습니다, 제가. 그래서 그런 과정들이 하나하나 늘 우리는 잊어버리는데 그런 사진하고 같이 해서 기억을 더듬어 보니까 영농 활동에 많은 도움이 되더라고요. 그래서 아주 유용하게 지금 나름대로 농사 잘 짓고 있습니다.
The number of farms with computers have risen from 29% in 2002 to 43% in 2009. Computer usage has also increased from 6% to 35%. These days, even rural villages have high-speed internet access. Smart-tech farmer Jung Hwaryo keeps Jung Yak-yong's farming ideology of 200 years ago engraved in his heart and always thinks over the meaning.
상농, 선비보다 신분이 못하다는 점들 때문에 농산꾼들이 제접받는 그 상농을 얘기했고, 그다음에 일이 좀 편했으면 좋겠다는 편농을 얘기하고, 그다음에 돈도 좀 많이 벌 수 있게끔 좀 생활의 여유를 가질 수 있게끔 후농을 얘기를 해요. 그러니까 상농과 편농과 후농이 실현되면은 그렇게 된다면은 이제 도시락을 싸들고 다니면서 말려도 농사 짓는 때가 되지 않을까. 저는 이런 부분들이, 이런 새로운 삼농들이 실현되는 것들이 바로 이제 농업의 가치들을 제대로 인정받는 때가 아닌가, 그런 생각이 들어요.
With each new day comes new smart technology, and it is especially developing rapidly in the field of agriculture. Smart technology is an advanced guard to the revival of agriculture in Korea, and many experts say the future of smart agriculture is bright. Then what potential does Korean agriculture have that will enable smart farming to take root successfully? It's the trend to return to the country that's spreading among young people and the cultivation technology which is developing to a global level. A return to farming event in Seoul. From young people trying to find work in the country to the middle-aged about to retire, the event is crowded with farmers-to-be trying to get information about farming. At one time, there was an exodus out of the countryside due to difficult work and low income. But now people are returning for the slower pace and higher quality of life. This social change has come in a single generation.
저는 이제 주택 같은 거 하나 자그마하게 져놓고 노후에 버섯 재배하면서 인생을 거기서 즐기는 것이 꿈이에요.
As people who had non-existent farming experience successfully settled down, social interest in farming is heightened. According to a survey conducted by the Rural Development Administration, 2 out of 3 people answered that they wish to live in the country after retirement. The main reason is because people wish to leave the competitive life in the city and lead a more relaxed life in the country. Based on research by the MOFAFF in 2011, the population returning to the countryside reached 6,500 households, a record high. 1,154 households in 2002, 1,302 in 2004, 2,384 in 2007, 4,080 in 2009. The number is continuing to rise. The quality of farming is also improving. At the time of the IMF financial crisis, people returned to the country to earn a livelihood. But now most people are going for a relaxing country life. The number of millionaire farmers is also increasing. This is thought to be because educated young farmers have thoroughly prepared for the move and adopted smart agricultural methods. Various farming information that can be easily found online is an important factor in the success of returnees. In 2011, 16,722 people earned an annual income of more than 100 million Korean won, a 14% increase compared to 2009. graduates from the Korea National College of Agriculture and Fisheries, also known as an academy for wealthy farmers-to-be, have done especially well. The KNCAF, which started as a school specializing in agriculture in 1997, is training specialists to be competitive on the international stage and is cultivating them to be competent farmers in the field of agriculture. The KNCAF is affiliated to the Ministry of Food, Agriculture, Forestries, and Fisheries, and is a national university, which is rare for a vocational college. With national support, the KNCAF has a curriculum balanced between theory and practical training, and the application rate is growing each year. All the students receive training abroad in Europe, the US, and Japan in order to learn from countries with advanced agricultural and fisheries industries. After graduation, they receive funding for a startup and other benefits including support from the Agricultural and Fisheries Co-op. The practical training on site is the reason the 300 or so graduates go on to be wealthy farmers with an annual income of 100 million Korean won.
제가 농가계 학생이긴 하지만 아직 흙을 만져볼 기회가 많이 없잖아요. 근데 학교는 이제 이론 교육뿐만 아니라 이제 실체적인 경험을 같이 접목해서 이제 교육을 하기 때문에 단순히 보고 듣는 것만이 아닌 이제 손으로 직접 해봄으로써 이제 더욱 더 많은 것을 알아가는 게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
한국농수산대학의 교육의 특징은 일단은 그 이론 교육을 바탕으로 해서 현장 중심의 교육. 저희 화획과 같으면은 실제적으로 종자를 뿌려가지고 꽃이 피기까지 일련의 과정을 실제 자기 손으로 실습을 하면서 공부를 하는 그런 과정이 있습니다.
What catches our attention is the level of the graduates' income. The average annual income of KNCAF graduates is 65.16 million Korean won. This is 35% higher than the average income of city workers, which is 48.88 million Korean won. It is also higher than the average salary of employees from top 100 companies, which is 61.95 million Korean won. It is also twice the amount of general farms at 32.12 million Korean won. 23% of the graduates earn more than 100 million Korean won a year. And true to its name as an academy for wealthy farmers-to-be, the KNCAF is training outstanding farmers of the future. About 2,000 have graduated from the KNCAF so far. And at this very time, they are sweating in farming villages, pioneering Korean agriculture as well as their own lives. In a few years, these students will be at the forefront of Korean agriculture. Being full of youthful spirit, their aspirations are grand.
저희 아버지께서 전라남도 진도에서 자그마한 조경업을 하시는데 제가 조경인이 된다면 전국에서 최고는 아니더라도 전라도에서는 알아주는 조경인이 되고 싶습니다.
Along with the social trend of returning to farming among the youth, the stepping stone that will accelerate the smartification process in Korean agriculture is cultivation technology, which is progressing at full speed. What level is Korea's agriculture technology at? In general, people say that Korea's agricultural technology is limited to rice farming, and thus lacks international competitiveness. Could that be true? According to a report by the Korea Institute of Science and Technology Evaluation and Planning, Korea's agricultural technology is 3.3 years ahead of China and 5.5 years behind the US. The reality is that value-added technologies such as storing, processing, and packaging agricultural products fall behind advanced agricultural nations. But Korea has tremendous potential in crop cultivation and breeding. Korea produces 490 kilograms of rice per 10 R, more than Japan, which produces 487 kilograms per 10 R. Technology regarding genetic resources measures the potential of future agriculture. Korea holds 248,000 genetic resources in plants, microorganisms, and livestock, ranking 6th in the world. Based on such technology, the National Agrobiodiversity Center in the Rural Development Administration received official recognition by the UN Food and Agricultural Organization and was designated as a World Seed Vault for the first time in the world. Biotech researchers predict that if the Earth's temperature rises more than 2 degrees, 25% of animals and plants will become extinct. This is why it is essential to preserve genetic resources. Genes of living organisms have evolved over the past 4 billion years, but once they are lost, they can never be recovered. The economic value of genetic resources is beyond comprehension. The scale in the world market is expected to be more than 500 billion USD a year, of which the medicinal market using natural substances is estimated to be 370 billion USD. Biological genetic resources is a repository of limitless potential, which human hands have yet untapped. Of the 300,000 types of plant genetic resources in the world, we only know about the natural substances and effects of about 5,000. 98% of plant genetic resources have a limitless potential to be developed by fusion technology. It is still an unopened Pandora's box. Korea is a country with 4 seasons, and thus has great biological diversity. The National Agrobiodiversity Center stores about 49,000 indigenous genetic resources and sells about 3,000 a year for research purposes. Also, the center receives requests from Myanmar and the Philippines to store their genetic resources in danger of extinction due to frequent natural disasters. It is the central control center of Korea's genetic research and Noah's Ark of the 21st century. Being designated as a World Seed Vault, it can acquire diverse genetic resources from other countries, thereby gaining an advantage and increasing competitiveness in the seed industry.
구슬이 선말을 해도 껴야 보배라는 얘기 있는데 우리 유전자원은 좋은 품종을 만드는 혹은 생물 산업의 소재로서의 아주 기본적인 재료가 됩니다. 재료가 없이는 어떤 물건도 만들 수 없죠. 그래서 새로운 품종을 만들거나 혹은 기능성 물질을 추출을 해서 의약용을 쓰거나 하는 그런 모든 생물 산업에 관련된 가장 기본되는 재료가 유전 자원이라고 이룰 수 있습니다. 그래서 중요한 겁니다.
The biotech industry is becoming a new growth engine of the future in addition to IT. Biotech, which includes genetic resources, foods, and bio, may sound unfamiliar to the general public, but the market has already grown to 20.6% of Korea's GDP. Recently, the government established a 2020-plus strategy for the bio industry. The plan is to focus on promoting 6 major fields such as seeds, functional medicinal materials, veterinary medicine, microorganisms, bioenergy, and pet and decorative plant industry. The policy is to develop the value-added bio industry into a future growth industry by using bio resources.
우리가 유전 자원에 대해서 적극적인 관심을 둔 것은 30년에 지나지 않습니다. 사실 구미 각국에서는 150년, 200년 전에 이런 데 관심을 두고 여러 가지 자원들을 수집하고 보관하고 있는데 비록 우리는 역사는 짧지만 지난 30년 동안에 거의 그 외국 수준의 최고 수준하고 동등한 수준에 이르렀다고 봐집니다. 우리가 보유하고 있는 식물 자원 수만 해도 미국은 물론 규모가 커서 한 50만 점 이상이 됩니다만은 우리도 50만 점 이상을 보존할 수 있는 최첨단의 시설을 가졌으면 물론이고 우리가 현재 보유하고 있는 자원수도 20만 약 1000점 정도 되는데 이 자원수는 세계적인 수준으로 비교하면 약 6위에 해당되고 있고 지금 수집하는 속도로 예측하건대 2, 3년 이내에 세계 5위 정도 수준에는 가게 될 것이라는 그런 말씀을 드릴 수가 있겠습니다.
In the countryside, we can also find people preparing for a future without coal. A major item of future agriculture is biofuel. It is growing fast as a revolutionary agricultural field that will replace fossil fuel and pioneer new markets in farming. This is the Bioenergy Crop Research Center in Muan, Jeollanam-do. Biofuel which can reduce the use of the slowly depleting fossil fuel as well as lessen air pollution is being developed here. Korea is late in developing biofuel, but by using Korea's own technology in microorganism processing and chemical processing, Korea will become competitive. At the Bioenergy Crop Research Center, silvergrass, an indigenous plant, is being researched to produce bioethanol, and a large trail cultivation complex is being operated in the Kumgang area. How can the tough silvergrass become fuel for vehicles and boilers? The conversion process is not that complicated. The production for bioethanol is divided into 3 stages: pre-treatment, saccharification, and fermentation. During the pre-treatment process, powdered silvergrass is boiled at a high temperature. Basically, it is boiling powdered silvergrass in water. Next is the saccharification process. By adding fermentation strains into the solid matter after pre-treatment, cellulose breaks down into glucose. This is the mid-process of becoming ethanol. After the saccharification process, the fermentation microbes create a fermentation process into ethanol. It then goes through a distilling process to increase the purity, after which it becomes ethanol that ignites.
저희가 개발한 바이오 에탄올은 향후 휘발유를 대체할 수 있는 연료로서 지속 가능한 그러한 원료로 각광받게 될 것으로 기대하고 있습니다.
The Rural Development Administration developed a new variety of large silvergrass, thereby increasing productivity of the raw material. The new silvergrass is a type of common reed that grows in the water. It grows up to 4 meters in height and 9.6 millimeters in width, which is twice as large as common silvergrass. It is also more productive per unit area, so 14,000 liters of ethanol can be produced per 1 hectare.
네, 우리 농촌진흥청에서 억새를 에너지 작물로 선택한 이유는 억새가 바로 온대 지역에서 재배 가능한 여러 가지 작물 중에서 바이오매스 수량이 가장 많은 작물이기 때문입니다. 그리고 억새는 우리나라가 원산지입니다. 따라서 미국이라든가 캐나다, 유럽 등 바이오 에너지 작물에 대해서 관심이 많은 나라에 어떤 품종 수출도 가능한 작물이기 때문에 억새를 연구하게 되었습니다.
A stable obtainment of biomass for bioenergy contributes greatly to energy security and reduction of greenhouse gases. Therefore, it is expected to become a key technology for low-carbon green growth. The global market size of bioindustry is $2.5 trillion USD. An age of bioeconomy will soon come. The world's economy will be controlled by the bioindustry headed by agriculture. 10th in the world of crop production technology. 20th in mechanization of agriculture. This is the current status of Korea's agriculture. Depending on future efforts, Korean agriculture has the potential to become a strong and competitive agricultural state on a global stage. The world-class level of agricultural technology will become a strong weapon in Korean agriculture in the age of smart farming. Through agriculture, humankind has obtained food, and it is the last bastion that will protect us from environmental disaster. Obtaining food through agriculture is the basis of human survival, and farmlands are the environmental safety net that protects the earth. Since 1988, the winters in Korea have become conspicuously warmer. Local products that have been raised in the appropriate regions are now slowly changing. The signs of change have already begun in the southern end of Korea, Jeju-do. 10 years ago, the best region to grow tangerines was limited to Jeju-do, but now can be grown in the areas of the southern coast in Gyeongsang-namdo and Jeollanam-do. Jeju's tangerines, which are in a fierce competition with imported oranges, must now compete with tangerines that are being produced in other regions in Korea. Also, outdoor cultivation is being replaced with greenhouse productions due to decreasing profits, which adds to the farmers' fuel expenses.
지금 그 하우스 농사가 한 15년 전에보다도 상당히 어렵게 전개가 되고 있는데 그 원인 중에 하나가 유류값하고 그다음 인건비 상승 때문이라고 저는 생각을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 대체 작물이 확실하지 않아서 어떻게 해야 될지 저도 고민하고 있습니다.
As a measure against the Korea-US FTA, Jeju-do has invested 10 billion Korean won to modernize production facilities for tangerines, strengthening the competitiveness of Jeju's tangerines. Also, Jeju has been designated to be a part of the APC project funded by the government. And by 2014, a distribution center the size of 30,000 meters squared will be built in this Seogwipo area.
온난화가 되면서 노지 감귤은 토양 피복을 통해서 품질을 향상을 시키고 있고요. 하우스는 야간에 보온할 수 있는 여러 가지 복합 시설을 투입을 해가지고 경영비를 줄이는 데 노력을 하고 있습니다. 또한 그 노지에서 만감류를 재배할 수 있는 기술을 현재 개발해서 수입 오렌지와 경쟁 체제를 갖추고 있습니다.
Despite the farmers' efforts and various support measures, because of the climate change, it is unclear when and to where Jeju will surrender its place as a tangerine-producing district. This is the Agricultural Research Center for Climate Change in Jeju. In line with the changing climate that is becoming warmer, researchers here are testing tropical crops and their possibility as the source of new income. In 2009, Dr. Moon Do-kyung was listed in Who's Who, recognized for the research conducted in environmentally friendly tropical fruits and global warming. His theory is that if we can't stop the climate change, then we must adjust the agriculture environment to match the changing climate.
저희 농촌진흥청 온난화 대응 농업연구센터에서는 지구 온난화를 대응해 가지고 온도가 높아졌을 때 어떤 작물의 생산성이라든지 품질이 어떻게 변할 것인가 하는 측면과 또 한반도에서 제일 따뜻한 지역이 제주 지역이다 보니까 제주 지역에서 제일 먼저 새로운 신속 작물들을 이제 유전 자원들을 도입해서 그걸 평가하고 환경 정성 평가를 하는 쪽으로 저희들이 노력하고 있습니다.
The Agricultural Research Center for Climate Change is raising tropical fruits such as mangoes, gold kiwis, avocados, dragon fruit, and tropical vegetables including artichokes, bitter cucumber, okra, and chayote. These are names that are unfamiliar to Koreans. These plants grow in Central America, the Mediterranean, Southeast Asia, and South America. But now they also grow in Jeju as it is changing to a subtropical climate.
이게 여주라는 품종입니다. 지금까지 한반도에서 재배되지 않은 새로운 작물들, 여주 포함시켜가지고 이런 것을 이제 저희들이 이제 도입해서 재배 기술도 개발하고 또 이게 우리 환경 정성이 맞는지 또 가치가 있는지 그런 걸 저희들이 이제 검토하고 있습니다. 열대 시금치 또는 인디안 시금치라는데 이것이 이제 일반 시금치보다 칼슘 함량이 높습니다. 그래서 자라나는 이제 성장기 어린이들 그다음에 이제 골다공증 이쪽에 좀 약하신 분들은 이제 이런 시금치를 먹어줌으로써 어떤 국민들의 건강을 또 건강 채소로서 저희들이 활용할 수 있는지 저희들이 이제 검토하고 있습니다.
The unfamiliar fruit and vegetables being grown here are still in the test cultivation stage. In order for these to become Jeju's main agricultural products, there are many obstacles to overcome, such as developing varieties suitable to this land, teaching farmers the cultivation technology, and creating distribution networks.
금세기는 기후 과도기 또는 기후 변동기라 합니다. 상당히 기후 변화가 심할 걸로 보고 있습니다. 다른 한편으로는 이제 평균 온도가 높아지기 때문에 국민들께서는 기후 변화에 관련해 가지고 관심을 좀 많이 가져주시고 그리고 정부나에서는 이제 정책 개발 또 이런 관련한 기후 변화 관련한 연구 투자가 많이 할 필요가 있지 않나 그렇게 생각하고 있습니다.
rapid climate change is changing the map of agricultural products. This means that Korea's agriculture is facing a crisis as well as new opportunities. Depending on how fast we adapt to the changes, we can gain opportunities for new developments. There is a successful case which adapted well to the changing agricultural environment. It's the paprika. It has a higher concentration of vitamins A and C compared to other vegetables, so it has recently become extremely popular in Korea as a healthy vegetable. It has only been produced in Korea for the past 20 years. This is a paprika co-op in Hwaseong, Gyeonggi-do. 248 acres of glass houses were built in 1997 and are still standing today. At the time, there were virtually no consumers for paprika in Korea. Farmers only focused on exports to Japan. And by adopting a state-of-the-art cultivation environment and smart farming methods, it obtained quality-based competitiveness. With the health craze, demand grew at an explosive rate in the Korean market, so it was difficult to meet the export supply. Now, a lot of people buy paprika from this farm.
우리나라 이 파프리카 재배 비전이 어떻게 보시나요? 향후 비전을?
예, 그거는 뭐 무궁무진하고요. 뭐 이제 일단 뭐 옆에 뭐 일본 큰 시장도 있을 뿐더러 아직 국내 시장도 아직 커지지 않았거든요. 웬만큼 이제 앞으로 뭐 한 두세 배도 국내 시장도 앞으로 지금도 아직도 안 먹어본들 뭐 모르시는 분들 많으시니까 예, 국내 시장뿐만 아니라 뭐 일본 앞으로 이제 뭐 FTA 체결돼서 뭐 힘들다고는 하시는데 우리 쪽에서는 오히려 좀 더 좀 밝게 보고 있고요. FTA 되는 조금이라도 예, 도움이 되지 않을까. 예, 중국 시장 진입하는데 예, 그래가지고 중국 시장은 물론 뭐 인도나 뭐 앞으로 한 20-30년 후르면 뭐 엄청나게 발달된다고 하는데 인도, 러시아, 뭐 동북아 이쪽은 뭐 다 저희 시장이 될 수 있으니까요. 뭐 앞으로 뭐 시장은 엄청나다고 보고 비전은 밝다고 보고 있습니다.
Their cultivation technology is one of the best in the world. By utilizing natural enemies to prevent harmful insects, they have gained the attention of the Japanese market, which puts importance on safe agrochemicals.
저희는 천적 방제로 해가지고 지금 이제 농약 사용을 이제 최소화하거나 거의 사용 안 하려고 노력하고 있는데 이렇게 천적을 투입함으로써 이것들이 이제 해충의 알이나 해충을 직접 가해해가지고 예 저희가 이제 병충해를 이제 조금이나마 컨트롤할 수 있게 도움을 주는 겁니다. 예.
The power of high-tech smart technology also plays a role in producing the world's best paprika. All the facilities here are controlled by computers. The computer controls the amount of water and fertilizer. It also adjusts air ventilation and the amount of daylight to control the humidity.
스마트폰 통해서 아까
Smartphones are also used so that the production is seamless. The smartphones are used to control everything from outside the farm.
여기서 이제 온도를 보고 싶으면 똑같이 온도 값으로 예, 그래프나 세팅 값을 다 볼 수 있고요.
Unlike Korea, paprika is extremely popular in Japan. Currently, over 800 farms and 20 co-ops are producing paprika, most of which are exported to Japan. 70% of Japan's market consists of Korea's paprika. Paprika, which are raised through nutrient solution culture in greenhouses, were the main agricultural product of the Netherlands, which has the world's best greenhouse cultivation. Even today, Korean paprika farmers are trained in the Netherlands because of their outstanding technology. However, in a matter of just 20 years, paprika from the Netherlands, which had dominated the Japanese market, was pushed out by Korean paprika.
근데 기후가 우리나라 기후가 훨씬 좋거든요. 네덜란드 기후보다는. 그 자기들은 맨날 비 오고 흐린 날씨가 많으니까 좀 당도면이나 이런 게 우리나라보다 좀 떨어지는 편일 겁니다, 아마. 여기는 우리나라는 봄하고 그때 강이 너무 좋지 않습니까? 그때 이제 품질이 제일 좋죠. 양도 많이 나오고.
Paprika is a successful case of the adjustment of change in Korean agriculture. Farmers actively adjusted to climate change and wisely adopted high-tech farming methods. By using the world's best IT technology, they were able to build an unconquerable fortress which no one could penetrate. This is the potential of Korean agriculture. Kim Yong-hwan and his college friends use tablet PCs and stock breeding, and they have formed a Korean beef association that meets regularly. Their friends and professors participate to share their experiences and know-how. The professor is proud to see that the graduates are still eager to learn and study. The topic of the seminar, which is held every 6 months, is smart farming. Most of them still find it easier to farm the traditional way, so they discuss opinions and share their know-how on smart stock breeding. The young farmers who have just started farming 3 years ago are the first generation to adopt high-tech smart farming methods to the traditional methods handed down from their parents. They have high expectations as well as concerns about the smart applications that will continue to be developed.
아, 나도 저렇게 생시체중이 큰 송아지를 내고 싶다는 그 딱 의욕이라는 게 이제 약간 부러운 면도 있고요. 막 여기 이렇게 크게 났구나, 송아지를 크게 났구나. 이 정도가 진짜 생시체중이 큰 소구나.
어떤 프로그램이 나오고 어플이 나왔다. 그러면 전에 쓰던 거를 그대로 갖고 가서 개체를 관리를 해야 되는데 다시 일일이 작성해야 된다는 게 너무 불편한 거죠, 지금.
이거를 딱 했을 때 어플 자체가 굉장히 쉬워야 다 할 수 있다는 거죠.
사람 관계에 대해서 그게 좀 옛날 디지털에 대한 좀 단점이 좀 사람들끼리 정보 교류가 좀 아닌가.
저희가 많이 해서 그분들도 이제 좋은 거.
Korea's farms will be led by these young farmers armed with digital minds. The digital youth are becoming smart to achieve their dreams.
젊은 농촌, 스마트 농촌, 한국 농업 화이팅!
These farmers in the agricultural industry have innovative minds and are essential to humankind's survival, protecting the next generation. There are still many problems, such as concentrating on rice farming, small farmlands, lack of human resources, and ambiguous distribution systems. However, farmers armed with smart minds are creating new waves of innovation in the countryside. Agriculture, together with the bioindustry, creates limitless value, and the economic scale is incomparable to other manufacturing industries. Nations of the world are in a fierce competition to dominate the bioindustry, an unimaginable blue ocean. It is time for Korea's agriculture to change as well. Korean agriculture can only survive by becoming smart. Smart agriculture will save the youth of Korea.